Since the discovery of her bones in 1974, scientists have long wondered what killed our most famous human ancestor, Lucy. Researchers found the skeleton sticking out of a shallow stream bed in Ethiopia. The bones have since provided new insight about life for early humans more than 3 million years ago.
A stunning discovery is shaking up everything we thought about human evolution.
We looked at these bones, we immediately saw that it's about a different type of human. It's not Homo sapiens.
Researchers have found ancient remains that may date back over 3 million years, suggesting a completely different story about how apes evolved into humans.
Just say they found the skull of what they believe is a new species of human, which could be our closest evolutionary relative. If confirmed, Dragon Man, as he's been named, would replace the Neanderthals.
This groundbreaking find could rewrite human history as we know it. Lucy, Australopithecus afarensis.
I'm Don Johansson, founding director of the Institute of Human Origins at Arizona State University, and best known for my discovery of Lucy 40 years ago.
About 6.5 to 5 million years ago, around 100,000 apes, our ancestors, lived in East Africa. They thrived in forests that were slowly shrinking due to cooler climate changes. There were two types of survivors. One group stayed in the remaining forest and evolved into today's chimpanzees and bonobos, while the other group, which became our ancestors, learned to live in both the trees and the open spaces. This adaptability was made possible by a key new skill: walking upright on two legs. By around 3.3 million years ago, our ancestors known as Australopithecines lived in social groups with some form of organization. These early walking apes appeared about 4.4 million years ago. One famous discovery was a trail of footprints left by two individuals around 3.5 million years ago at Latoli in Tanzania. These footprints, made of volcanic ash, stretched over 165 feet and looked surprisingly human. Australopithecines had long arms, curved fingers for climbing, and shorter legs compared to us today. However, their brains were slightly larger than those of chimpanzees, measuring about 400 to 500 cubic centimeters. Like modern apes, male Australopithecines were about 50% larger than females. This size difference suggests that their social structure was similar to that of chimpanzees, with strong male competition for mates and distinct roles for males and females. One of the most well-known Australopithecines is Lucy, a 3.5-foot tall skeleton discovered in 1974 in Hadar, Ethiopia. Lucy lived in eastern Africa between 3.85 and 2.95 million years ago. In 2000, another remarkable find was made: a 3-year-old female skeleton named Salem, found near Lucy's site. Salem could walk upright and climb trees, but analysis of her hyoid bone indicated she couldn't speak like we do today. Her sounds were probably similar to a chimpanzee's. Interestingly, her brain was still growing at her death, hinting that our ancestors were already forming complex social bonds to care for their young. The climate cooled again from 3 to 2 million years ago, causing forests to shrink and many species to go extinct. But by then, Australopithecines were adapting to open terrains and developing new survival strategies. The robust Australopithecines, for instance, evolved larger teeth to eat tough leaves. What if everything we knew about our ancestors was turned upside down? Discover how this ancient ape could change how we see our place in the family tree. But before we push forward, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Discovery of 8.7-million-year-old ape rewrites the story of humanity. A recent discovery is rewriting the history we know about human evolution. For a long time, Africa was thought to be the birthplace of humanity, where humans evolved from apes before spreading around the world. However, a partial skull of a new ancient ape in Turkey challenges this idea. The fossil, named Anadaluvius turci, was discovered in Kankiri, a city about 86 miles northeast of Ankara. This fossil is believed to be around 8.7 million years old. It suggests that the ancestors of African apes and humans evolved in Europe before moving south to Africa. Before this find, early human relatives known as hominins were only seen in Africa about 7 million years ago. The research indicates that these hominins spent over 5 million years evolving in Western and Central Europe. Due to changing environments and shrinking forests, they eventually spread to the Eastern Mediterranean and then into Africa. Professor David Begun from the University of Toronto noted that this evidence supports the idea that hominins originated in Europe and migrated to Africa along with other mammals between 9 and 7 million years ago. However, more fossils from Europe and Africa, dating back between 8 and 7 million years, are needed to confirm this connection definitively. When you thought you had it all figured out, an incredible find in Israel reshaped the narrative of human evolution. Could this ancient human hold the key to our past? Newly found ancient human in Israel rewrites story of evolution. A recent discovery is changing what we understand about human evolution. Scientists in Israel have found a new type of early human after examining fragments of a fossilized skull and jawbone. These fragments were discovered at an archaeological site near Tel Aviv, and they could help explain the genetic links between modern humans and Neanderthals. The skull and jawbone pieces were unearthed at a site called Nesher Ramla, which a cement plant once used. These findings are exciting because they might fill in some gaps in our understanding of how human life developed on Earth. Researchers believe that this ancient human, known as Nesher Ramla Homo, lived around 140,000 to 120,000 years ago, making it much older than Neanderthals, who are thought to have died out about 40,000 years ago. What's fascinating is that Nesher Ramla Homo shows traits that are different from modern humans. For example, it had big teeth, a flat skull, and no chin. However, it also shared some features with Neanderthals, especially its teeth and jaw. This discovery suggests that Nesher Ramla Homo has lived alongside modern humans and could have interbred with them for over 100,000 years. The researchers believe these ancient humans could be the missing link that helps us understand how modern humans and Neanderthals are connected. They argue that Nesher Ramla Homo might be the source population that gave rise to Neanderthals and other humans in the Middle East during the Middle Pleistocene era. This find could help clarify how Neanderthals came to have genes from modern humans long before the two groups met in Europe. As researchers continue to study these fossils, they hope to learn more about how this new type of early human interacted with others in its environment. The discovery adds to the growing evidence that Nesher Ramla Homo had advanced stone tool-making skills, indicating that they were not just simple creatures. Overall, this finding is a significant step in uncovering the complex history of human evolution and our early ancestors. Dragon Man discovered in China.
Now, a remarkable scientific discovery has been made in China. Researchers say they found the skull of what they believe is a new species of human, which could be our closest evolutionary relative. If confirmed, Dragon Man, as he's been named, would replace the Neanderthals as our sister species.
Researchers in China have found a skull that might belong to a new human species called Dragon Man. If this is confirmed, it could mean Dragon Man is our closest evolutionary relative, replacing Neanderthals as our sister species. The Dragon Man skull was discovered in northeastern China's Black Dragon River province. This perfectly preserved skull dates back about 146,000 years. A three-dimensional scan reveals that it has a large head with a brain similar in size to ours, but it also shows features that are more primitive, like a strong brow ridge. The scientists studying this skull believe that Dragon Man was stocky and muscular. So, where does Dragon Man fit in the human family tree? 7 million years ago, the first human-like creatures started to appear. Over time, these creatures evolved, leading to Homo erectus, our ancient ancestor. About 2 million years ago, Dragon Manus are believed to have lived alongside early humans and may even be more closely related to us than Neanderthals. One expert said this find is one of the most significant fossils in over 50 years of studying human evolution. This discovery provides a new perspective, as it suggests that Dragon Man could be a sister species to Homo sapiens, which is our species. Some scientists also think that Dragon Man might belong to a little-known group called the Denisovans. Although we have yet to learn much about them, recent findings suggest they were around in Asia. This skull is part of a growing body of evidence showing that a rich and diverse human evolution occurred in China between 100,000 and 500,000 years ago. However, excavations in China have yet to be as thorough as in Africa, so researchers are only starting to uncover this important history. The story of the skull itself is quite interesting. It was discovered by a farmer who kept it hidden for nearly 90 years after finding it at a construction site in Harbin. The family didn't know what to do with the fossil, so they kept it safe. Once donated to a university museum in 2018, Scientists began detailed studies comparing it to other early human fossils. Tests have shown that the skull is at least 146,000 years old. Researchers used various methods to determine its age and connect it with other fossils in the same area. The skull is notably large. It is the biggest known human skull, and it has features that mix modern and more ancient traits, making it distinct from other known human species. This discovery opens new doors in understanding our human origins and raises many questions about how we relate to these ancient relatives. Meet Homo naledi, the species that challenges our understanding of intelligence and behavior in early humans. What shocking revelations could this species reveal about our development? Homo naledi. The fossils of Homo naledi are extraordinary in many ways. These remains show traits of an early member of our genus, Homo. By looking at their physical features and comparing them to other early human species, scientists believe these fossils belong right at the start of the family tree leading to us. This is a big deal. We're looking at over 1,500 bones from around 18 individuals, from babies to older adults. The fossils were found in the Rising Star Cave System in South Africa, a place studied for over 50 years. When scientists discovered the fossils, they noticed they might have been intentionally placed there by family members after death. This idea suggests that Homo naledi could have been practicing burial rituals, something we previously thought only modern humans did. This discovery adds to the story we know about human evolution. It's important to note that Homo naledi had a unique mix of modern and old features. They had tiny brains, curved fingers, and legs similar to ours. But their hands and feet still show primitive traits. What's even more surprising is that these fossils were found in caves deep underground, where they've remained for a long time. The first finds were made in a hard-to-reach part of the cave, about 80 meters from the surface. This means the bones might have been hidden away in darkness for thousands of years. When scientists dated the Homo naledi fossils, they were shocked to find that they were between 236,000 and 335,000 years old. This is very young for a species still showing primitive features similar to much older fossils. It suggests that Homo naledi lived alongside other human species, including us, Homo sapiens. As researchers continue to study these fossils, questions remain about how Homo naledi got into the cave and what their lives were like. For now, we know that they were a unique part of our family tree, reminding us that human evolution is far more complex than we once thought. This discovery highlights that we still have much to learn about our ancient relatives. Step back in time with Homo habilis, the tool-making pioneer of our lineage. How did this early human shape the skills we often take for granted today? Homo habilis. A recent discovery is reshaping the story we know about human evolution. Homo habilis, one of our early ancestors, lived around 2.3 to 1.5 million years ago. The name Homo means human in Latin, connecting this species closely to modern humans. The word habilis translates to handy or skillful, as tools made of stone were found near their fossils, suggesting that Homo habilis had learned to create and use tools. This species has become an important puzzle in understanding early human evolution. Fossil evidence first emerged in 1959, when Louis and Mary Leakey, well-known anthropologists, discovered teeth in Tanzania's Olduvai Gorge. They continued to find bones from different individuals, including a young boy's skeleton. These fossils suggested a new human ancestor, different from others found before. In 1964, Homo habilis was officially recognized as a new species, though not without controversy. This discovery is changing how we think about our evolutionary history. The more scientists found, the more it became clear that Homo habilis was more ape-like than initially thought. They were small and lived in dangerous environments like open plains and forests in East Africa. Life was challenging for them, with predators like hyenas and lions around. They didn't have the size or strength to fight off these animals, but they had something that helped them survive: their brains. While not as large as modern human brains, Homo habilis had bigger brains compared to other animals at the time, and that was crucial for their survival. The discovery of Homo habilis fossils in East Africa also stirred up debate. At first, scientists thought humans had evolved in Asia, but this find changed everything. It suggested that the Homo genus, to which we belong, had evolved from an earlier species in Africa. The leading theory is that Homo habilis eventually evolved into Homo erectus, another early human species that led to Homo sapiens, or us. A recent find is rewriting what we know about human evolution. One thing that set Homo habilis apart was their ability to make and use tools. They created simple tools by striking rocks to make sharp edges. These tools, called Oldowan tools, were basic but effective for their needs. Later species, like Homo erectus, would create more advanced tools, but Homo habilis laid the foundation. Today we continue to study these fossils and debate their role in human evolution. The story of Homo habilis shows that the history of our species is complex and still being written. This discovery continues to add new layers to the story of human evolution, reminding us that the path to becoming human was full of twists and turns. 300,000-year-old fossils reveal early humans with surprisingly modern faces. Imagine a group of early humans huddled around a fire in a Moroccan savanna, surrounded by their stone tools. Evidence from these tools tells us that this ancient group lived more than 300,000 years ago, twice as old as previously thought. This discovery significantly rewrites what we know about human evolution. The new findings were shared in Nature, filling a vital gap in our fossil records. These early humans had a lot in common with modern Homo sapiens, even though they lived long before the oldest Homo sapiens fossils, which are from Ethiopia and date back around 195,000 years. While these Moroccan individuals didn't look exactly like us, having less rounded skulls and different brain shapes, their faces and teeth were remarkably similar to ours. In short, this discovery shakes up the timeline of human history. What's even more surprising is where these fossils were found. Morocco is far from the East and South African sites, providing many of the continent's hominin fossils. This suggests that human evolution was much older and more widespread across Africa than we used to believe. In fact, according to experts like paleoanthropologist Bernard Wood, this discovery is a reminder that our understanding of human evolution is constantly evolving. Just because we haven't found fossils in a particular area doesn't mean they aren't there. In other words, absence of evidence isn't evidence of absence. This discovery rewrites what we know about human history and evolution. The site in Morocco, Jebel Irhoud, was initially uncovered during mining activities in the 1960s. Stone tools and fragments of skulls were found, but scientists couldn't place them in the human timeline due to unclear dating. That all changed when paleoanthropologist Jean-Jacques Houblin reopened the site in 2004. By removing debris and digging deeper, the team found more tools, evidence of fire use, and more human remains, including part of a jaw and skull. This discovery wasn't just about finding fossils, it was also about figuring out how old they were. To do that, the team used a clever technique. The ancient campfires at Jebel Irhoud had heated the surrounding stone tools and reset their electrical charge. Over time, natural radioactivity built up a new charge, and by measuring it, the team could estimate when the tools were last exposed to fire. Their calculations showed the tools were around 315,000 years old. This breakthrough shows just how much we still have to learn. Human evolution didn't just happen in a straight line. And the Jebel Irhoud site reminds us that our ancestors were spread across Africa long before we ever imagined. Now, it's turn to reveal the mystery of the Denisovans, a group of ancient humans whose legacy still lingers in our DNA today. What fascinating connections do we share with these mysterious ancestors? Denisovans. This discovery rewrites the history we know about human evolution. A recent study has revealed new insights about an ancient group of humans called the Denisovans. These mysterious people lived in Eurasia for thousands of years, alongside modern humans and Neanderthals. The Denisovans were discovered only about 5 years ago. Still, thanks to new deoxyribonucleic acid analysis, we are beginning to understand more about them and how they fit into our human family tree. Scientists first came across Denisovan deoxyribonucleic acid when they studied a fossilized finger bone and tooth found in a cave in Siberia. The cave, Denisova Cave, is a special place because it is the only spot where remains from 3 different human-like groups, modern humans, Neanderthals, and Denisovans, have been found together. Deoxyribonucleic acid from the Denisovans showed they left their genetic mark on modern-day humans, particularly those from Pacific islands like Papua New Guinea. These findings change our understanding of how our ancestors shared the world with other human-like species. This discovery rewrites the history we know about human evolution. The Denisovans had large teeth, a feature that has puzzled researchers. When scientists first found a Denisovan wisdom tooth in 2010, they were shocked by its size, even mistaking it for a bear's tooth at first. The tooth had huge roots and was much larger than human or Neanderthal teeth. A second tooth found later confirmed that Denisovans had large teeth, suggesting they may have also had larger jaws. This is just one of many mysteries about what the Denisovans looked like. Recently, scientists have been using new techniques to piece together what Denisovans may have looked like. Studying how ancient deoxyribonucleic acid changes over time has created a rough image of a young Denisovan girl who lived 75,000 years ago. The results suggest that Denisovans had wide faces, with jaws and teeth larger than those of modern humans and Neanderthals. Even though Denisovans were similar to Neanderthals in some ways, they had distinct differences, especially in their skulls and faces. This discovery rewrites the history we know about human evolution. Denisovans split from the ancestors of modern humans about 600,000 years ago, and from Neanderthals about 400,000 years ago. They lived across a vast area, from Siberia to Southeast Asia, and may have survived as recently as 30,000 years ago. While we have found many Neanderthal fossils, including complete skeletons, we have very few Denisovan remains. So far, we have a few teeth, a pinky bone, and a jawbone from different Asian sites. But even with these few fossils, we are learning more about this mysterious group. With new techniques, scientists are uncovering more about our ancient relatives daily. These findings remind us how much we still have to learn about the history of human evolution, and how many surprises may be waiting to be discovered. Walk alongside our ancestors as we explore the Laetoli footprints, an incredible snapshot of early human life. Laetoli footprints. Found in Tanzania, these 3.6 million-year-old footprints confirm bipedalism in early hominins and provide direct evidence of their behavior. This discovery rewrites the history we know about human evolution. It holds millions of years old remains, including volcanic layers that have preserved crucial evidence of early humans. What makes Laetoli so significant are the footprints left behind by two early human ancestors about 3.6 million years ago, preserved by layers of volcanic ash. These footprints are the oldest known tracks of bipedal, two-legged walking humans, offering key insights into how our ancestors moved. The Laetoli footprints were made by a species known as Australopithecus afarensis, the same species as the famous fossil Lucy. These early humans walked through volcanic ash after an eruption, and when the volcano erupted again, the new ash covered and preserved their prints. Archaeologists have uncovered 27 meters of these tracks, featuring about 70 individual footprints. The footprints are so well preserved that scientists can see they were made by upright walking hominins, marking a significant moment in human evolution. This discovery rewrites the history we know about human evolution. German scientist Cole Larsen first studied Laetoli in the 1920s, but it wasn't until 1974 that Mary Leakey's team discovered the famous footprints. The site has become a central location for research into human origins, attracting scientists worldwide who study its ancient deposits. Each year, researchers visit Laetoli to uncover more about the geological layers and fossils found there. Another exciting discovery came in 2015 when archaeologists found another footprint trail known as Site S, only 500 feet away from the original trackway called Site G. The footprints at Site S are larger than those at Site G, made by two individuals with feet measuring between 9 and 10 inches in length. The prints are well preserved, offering even more clues about the size and movements of early humans. This discovery rewrites the history we know about human evolution. New findings at Laetoli continue to show that our ancestors walked in ways similar to and different from how we walk today. These footprints offer a unique window into the past and help scientists better understand the development of bipedalism, a key milestone in the story of human evolution. The Nario-Kotome boy, or Turkana boy, Homo erectus. Finally, we have a Turkana boy, who was an insight to an early human life. The Turkana boy skeleton, found near Lake Turkana in Kenya, is one of the most complete Homo erectus skeletons ever found, giving scientists valuable insight into the body size, shape, and growth rates of this ancient species. His remains are about 1.5 million years old, and even though only 40% of his skeleton was found, scientists can figure out missing parts by studying the bones they have. Turkana Boy was around 8 or 9 years old when he died. His second molars had come in, but not wisdom teeth, so we know he was not yet an adult. He was about 1.6 meters, 5 feet 3 inches tall, and weighed around 48 kilograms. And while he might have grown a bit more if he had lived, scientists think he wouldn't have been much taller as an adult. His brain size was 880 cubic centimeters, which might have reached 909 cubic centimeters if he had grown up. This discovery rewrites the history we know about human evolution. Turkana Boy's bones tell us he had a curved spine due to a disease, which likely slowed him down and might have contributed to his death. Despite this, he had long legs and narrow shoulders, similar to modern humans living in hot, dry climates today. This body shape suggests that Homo erectus, Turkana Boy's species, could walk or even run long distances. Homo erectus was also the first human species to spread widely across Africa and into Asia. Turkana Boy's species made and used stone tools. These included simple stone cores, flakes, and large hand axes, which helped them survive. The tools found in the Turkana Basin, dating back 1.6 million years, show that Homo erectus was a skilled toolmaker. This discovery rewrites the history we know about human evolution. These discoveries can change how we understand our origins and reshape the entire story of human evolution. With each new finding, we're getting closer to uncovering the truth about where we came from. Who knows what more is waiting to be revealed beneath the surface?